The limited me is nothing but our idea. For example, our consciousness is pure. Even though we are having mind, the mind is made up of consciousness. The one part of the basically it is consciousness, and the superficial level it is intellect. The intellect and consciousness put together as mind, and the consciousness is always pure. There is no problem. Only in the intellectual process, that means it is a wave. It is just like a wave. The intellect, we in the conscious level, some waves. The waves we have some. That means we have some feeling, and the meaning of the feeling. Thereby we know I am having this kind of feeling, this kind of idea. So everything is just a wave. And in this wave alone, it is represented for some discrimination, for understanding. It divides itself into two: the observer and observed, experience and experiencer. Actually, there is no true, only one. Only one wave creates this dual understanding. The dual
creates duality.
It creates duality. For example, you have dream in the night, in the sleep. So it is nothing but a thought. During your sleep, you may have some thought. The thought in the sleep considered to be dream, but it is nothing but thought. But in a single filament of thought, you have some dual feeling. So I am going somewhere, I am seeing many persons, but actually there is no two thought, only one thought. Even though the thought is one, you have some feeling that you are doing something in the thought itself. You create some duality within your thought. I am something and somebody is there, I am meeting there, I am doing something. That means I am experiencing something. The experience is there, the experiencer is also there. Actually, the one thought creates the experience and experience. The same thing is happening in the waking hours also. Each waves creates the feeling of experience and experience. Actually, that is one. There is no duality. But even though there is duality, it is not a real duality. But when the one wants to control the other thing, then only one becomes the subject and keeps the other object. If the one wants to, I want to be free from sorrow, I want to keep pleasure with me always, then only the one part, the experiencer part, puts him as a subject. And then only it gets strengthened. Otherwise, the duality is not a real duality. But as in the case of a dream, every moment, every feeling is only the product of our thought. So in this way, here also, the me and the experience, everything is an experience. The me is also an experience. It is not a subject. When it takes some role to deal with something, then only it assumed to be a subject. Otherwise, it is also an object. It is also an experience. The experience is also an experience. The experiencer also an experience. There is no subject at all. Only because of struggle, only because of retaining something, removing something, then only we assume ourselves to be the subject. Then only the subject and object relationship happens. Otherwise, there will be no subject at all. Object alone is there.
Some things the man is struggling against what we feel. Well, I don't want this, I don't know. And some things are more difficult to accept. So, are there some steps in acceptance of what happens? Do you understand?
For example, you have some option to the external and the natural world. You may have the option. You must have the option. This is good, this is bad. This I want, this I don't want. So that must be the nature of our mind. That must be the nature of our living. And then only the correct living is possible. So good thing alone must be done, and the bad thing alone must be avoided. But psychologically, there is no good, there is no bad. It is a happening. Everything is a happening. There is no good, there is no bad. Whatever comes, we have to allow them to go on its own. If you want, we can adopt something for the use of the external things. If it is not necessary for the external things, we need not take. If you need not adopt. So we make everything to flow. So physical things and external things, there is good and bad. We have to do the correct thing. We should not do the wrong thing.
But probably it's things from karma, bad karma, which are difficult to accept.
Karma.
Yeah.
Bad karma.
Bad karma which we cannot accept. We are difficult to accept.
Bad
Other than the
means-
worldly actions.
Please wait. Bad karma means, what do you say? Bad karma.
I don't know, the things you have been doing in past life which are giving some effect in this life, yeah.
So physically you are placed in, because of your past karma in the past life,
Yes.
you have the punishment or reward in the external.
I don't know, I try to understand.
But possibly, but anyhow, but in the karma theory itself says that you have some option to create new karma also. Even though something happens, so you have the liberty to do the new karma also. So wherever we are at liberty to do this correct thing. And the past karma, it will give you some situation. It will not give you the things alone. It will give you, produce a situation where you can create new things, you can change. Something you cannot change, but there are some possibilities of change in many circumstances. So wherever you can act, you can use your free mind to do something. So otherwise new karma cannot be possible. So whenever you have the option to create new karma, you can have the good and bad karma. So you have that means they are giving you full freedom to do good and bad karma.
So in case in this flow, in the flow, there is something which you want or you don't want. That is happening.
yeah.
You have an idea about what you need or what you don't need, and it goes against. And you find yourself somehow trying to get what you want. So you just let it happen unconsciously. Let's say the moment that you see, I am trying to impose I have an idea of what is, because you said before, it is neither good or bad, it's just the happening. But still in the mind it might be, this is desirable, this is not desirable. And some action will, or some attitude will come towards it.
But if you understood, you have no business to correct it, then you will not interfere with that. But if in spite of that, you can have some unconscious response, we cannot criticize that. The unconscious response is happening because of our conditioning. It is also our conditioning may be responsible because we are accustomed with many kind of ideas, many kind of thoughts, and that all have some conditioning. And we have some conditional response for that also. So we need not worry for that. But we should not do it consciously. Because we have we have understood, we have no work, then we put everything down.
Because there is always a subtle expectation for a relief, for a kind of a peace, of sensation of relief, peace. And in that way you can measure yourself, am I correct, am I doing it right, if I'm getting more peaceful. Even Ramana said it, that if you get more peaceful, that it means that you are on the right way. But actually maybe...
But we have tried several times, we have tried and failed. And then only you come to the understanding you have no work, or no work will not help you. Then only you come to the understanding that no work is possible, no regulation is possible. Then only you come to understand you neglect the total effort. Then after your understanding, if you do it unconsciously, that is okay. But don't do it consciously. Because we have to abandon the total mind. We have no business to enter into the mind, to correct the mind. So we have the mind, we have the option to use our mind to the external things. But you have no duty to enter into the mind to correct the mind. So if you enter into the mind, you are swallowed by the mind. You are become the spray of the mind.
Yeah.
But you have no duty to enter into the mind for correcting it.
I think the wish to be happy, you know, there is this wish, I want to be happy, you know, you want to feel good.
But that is always we are having. For that only we are struggling.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But if you that means you expect something. If you expect them, but the expectation, you enter into the trap.
True.
So the rat is entering into a trap by expecting some for some food and caught within the trap.
Yeah.
So that is why we are deceived by ourselves.
Yeah. So this is the situation most of the time.
So you let it be unconscious. Don't do it consciously.
Okay. I need to write it down on the wall.
So again you are trying to do something.
Always. Never ending. Hopeless. Is it, you know, because this understanding in a way means that you don't care if you suffer to eternity? Maybe, I'm asking. Is that this surrender implies that acceptance of pain, of discomfort forever?
But if you disregard the mind, you can taste the flow of liberation itself. The feeling of liberation, you'll have some different kind of taste. You can also taste the flowing of liberation also. It will also have some memory in you. It will also come to your help.
What do you mean?
But if you disregard the psychological structure,
Yes.
you have the total flowing of our mind. The total flowing of our mind will also give you some memory of the flowing. So it will also help for you will have some assurance that you need not work, or no more, you need not work against your mind. It will, even though it has nothing to do, we did not use our memory, we did not consciously do that. Anyhow, some help is there. So the memory will also help.
For
So
sure.
you can
But maybe for this to happen, you first have to let go of this desire to be happy and whatever, or free, or liberated. I don't know, happy, just happy. So it implies that you are willing to suffer, or to live in pain, or never get what you want, to die forever, to die every moment. You know, to what you want and what you expect. Because every moment I want to be happy. Every moment my mind, myself think, how am I to be happy? But every action, it's dominating.
So that is the nature of our mind.
Yeah.
But if you want happiness always, thereby in the name of happiness you are struggling.
Yes.
So then you are struggling for years and years.
I understand that, yeah.
And after that you come to the conclusion you need not fight with yourself.
Yeah.
But in spite of your understanding, if you struggle, let the struggle may happen unconsciously. But don't do it consciously, because you are understood properly. And we have no idea we have the idea that you cannot get this happiness by struggling.
Yeah.
So then you cannot struggle yourself consciously. The unconscious struggle, you need not worry about that. Each suffering ends when it appears. It is the end of suffering. It happens naturally. We need not try to, but we are trying to end our suffering. Actually, each suffering ends by its appearance itself. The very moment of its appearance, it also disappears. But only because of our trying to remove the suffering, we give life to the suffering. Otherwise, all suffering will end as soon as it enters the conscious level. So there is no conscious movement, continuous conscious movement. It is moment by moment, everything is new. There is no continuous conscious movement.
Yeah, is the suffering happens at one moment, you say, it disappears also. But this moment can remain many years, you know.
Yes.
This moment, you say the suffering is happening now, it disappears at the same moment.
Yeah.
But in this moment,
In this moment,
it can remain
but when
10 years of suffering.
But
You know,
when we conscious of some happening, the very moment of consciousness of the suffering, it disappears. Then every moment is new.
Yeah, I understand that.
So you need not worry about the disappearance of anything. It disappears on its own. But meditation is only to shaping our mind. But what we want to do liberation of our mind, not shaping of mind, holding of mind. Meditation is holding of our mind.
Yeah.
It is not liberation of mind. So liberation of mind, we have to have the free mind. But by meditation, we are holding the mind.
Yeah.
But it is the preparatory stage. It is okay. But afterwards, but just for a fun alone, you can do meditation. But by meditation, you can create some energy, some feeling. Because for that, it will exist only for the time being. If you do it properly, you will create some experience within yourself. But if it is not the end you want, you can create energy or feeling. Then for that, meditation will be helpful.
To create.
Get some feeling and energy.
Some good
But
experience.
if you do something, you have to do it properly. If you do it properly without having wandering thoughts and to have some concentration within yourself, then only you have some generation of energy within yourself. See, if you have wandering thought, you cannot energize.
No, but sometimes I feel even if I have a lot of thoughts, still I cannot, I'm not sorry I sat for meditation. Still it has some good effect. Like just letting everything come up to the surface, and it's still somehow effective, I find it.
But it is okay. Anyhow, there must be the generation of feeling and the experience. If it happens, you have done it properly. But don't use your mind against yourself.
Yes.
Use your mind to the situation where you are. You can do something, but don't use your mind to your inwardly. Inwardly, everything is okay. Whatever comes, and everything is in the periphery level, you feel agitated. In the basic level, it is pure consciousness. The consciousness has some waves. You thinking the waves are not good, you name the total consciousness as bad. So the consciousness is having the flow. By waves, it moves. And anyhow, you need not worry about the waves. The total consciousness, you can allow the consciousness. And you don't try to do anything psychologically. But you can use your mind very well in the external situation. But here you have to do that, you can use your intelligence. What is correct, what is good, you have to do. But psychologically, you have to be innocent. We have no theory, we have no concept. Everything is good. You have no business psychologically. So you have no duty to correct yourself. So don't use your mind against your mind. Use your mind to the situation. Don't use your mind against yourself. But some persons maybe say there, some energy may be there, but it is not. It will not give you understanding. Understanding is only the intellectual. For the intellectual, you have to work. You have to understand. The energy will not help. The energy will not create understanding. You have to understand the problem. The problem is only in the intellectual level. So energy level, in the energy level there is no problem. So you may have some good feeling within yourself. The good feeling will not solve the problem. But in spite of that, some bad feeling may have the capacity to solve the problem. So instead of some good feeling, deep sorrow, it will give you some better understanding instead of happiness. So, but in the energy level, we feel something, but it is. But take it as a fun. You can take it, but don't take it seriously. You should not give any serious importance to that. The consciousness is the base.
Yeah.
In the consciousness, we have some waves. We know only the waves, not the consciousness. And in the waves means experience. In the experience, in every moment, only one wave is there. There is no waves, only one wave at a time. In the one wave, some experience and experiencer. There is no duality. But anyhow, for understanding, we understand like that. Some duality is there. As if there is some duality, we understand like that. I am experiencing something. But both are the some experience. Both are the wave. It is not the real subject. The real subject is the consciousness, but it is only the wave. The wave is only the experience. Even though the experience is our experience, in the same way the experiencer is also an experience. There is no difference between the experiencer and the experiencer. Both are experiences. All experiences are moment by moment new. So in the same way, each and every moment, the me is new. Moment by moment is new. There is no old me. There is no future me. There is no continuing me. Each and every moment new. Each wave creates new me. So it is a flowing one. But anyhow, we assume that something is permanent. It is artificially we feel like that. And thereby we suppose us to be a permanent one, and we try to control some happenings. That is impossible one.
I understand.